Hi, and welcome to Web3 Unfiltered, the podcast that cuts through hype to explore what actually works in Web3, digital infrastructure, and emerging technologies. I am your host, Collins Victory Odabi. Today's guest is Bhaskar Bharat Sawant, a seasoned AI architect and cybersecurity innovator. Bhaskar leads intelligent, adaptive, defensive initiatives that help organizations move from reactive protection to predictive and automated resilience. With over 15 years of experience in .NET engineering, machine learning, and security architecture, he also serves as an IEEE senior member and is a frequent speaker at industry conferences. Today, we'll explore the practical ways AI is transforming cybersecurity, how decentralized systems can be secured responsibly, and what the future holds for adaptive, explainable, and human-centric digital protection. Welcome to the show, Bhaskar. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for this opportunity to speak with your audience and share my experience.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us on the show. So, Bhaskar, first, I like to ask my guests to talk about themselves. Please, if you do not mind, tell us a bit about yourself and your story. How did you get into AI and cybersecurity?
Yeah, thank you. So basically, my journey started as a full-stack software engineer, working on the enterprise systems, building applications that process a large amount of business data. Over time, I became more involved in a system architecture, where I was responsible not just for building the features, but for designing the systems that were scalable, reliable, and secure. What pulled me towards the security specifically was seeing how vulnerable the enterprise systems could be when the security wasn't built into the architecture from the beginning. I saw situations where the systems worked perfectly from the functional perspective, but had a hidden risk that could expose sensitive data and disturb the operation. As AI started becoming a part of the enterprise system, I realized that the risk surface was expanding significantly. AI system interacts with more data, make autonomous decisions, and often connects to the external services. That made security and the responsible design even critical. Since then, my focus has been on designing the AI systems that are not only intelligent, but also secure, privacy-preserving, and trustworthy.
Amazing. It is striking how your early work in .NET and data engineering laid the foundation for thinking about security beyond traditional firewalls. The way you connected technical depth with strategic foresight really sets the stage for the predictive systems you're building today. And also, your approach highlights that security is not just about preventing attacks, but it's about anticipating them. Your approach from how you shifted from reactive cybersecurity to designing AI-driven and adaptive defense systems shows that. But then you've also shown us that it's not just about preventing security, but it's about anticipating them. That mindset is very crucial as businesses scale from into digital first and Web3 environments where the attack surface is constantly evolving. So please tell us, what were some of the biggest challenges in implementing these intelligent systems early on in your career?
So if I understand your question correctly, so basically you're asking what is the, I would say, what is the biggest misconception about the AI-driven cyber defense is that adding AI automatically makes the system more secure. That's the biggest misconception. In reality, AI introduces a new category of risk. Models can be manipulated through the prompts injection, poisons during the training, and exploited through indirect data flow. AI expands the attack surface even as it helps detect threats. AI does not eliminate the risk, it redistributes it. The real innovation is not simply using AI for the defense, it is designing the AI systems that are explainable, auditable, and constrained by the governance framework. Without the explainability, You may detect the anomalies, but you cannot justify the decisions. In a high-stake environment, that becomes the operationally dangerous. So I always get one question from many people, like, what is the difference between the reality and the hype about the AI? What is the biggest disconnect when people talk about the AI? Why every organization trying to catch it, and what is the actual reality, and what is the part of the hype of this thing? So biggest disconnect is that vendors, like the companies, organization, often present AI as a plug and play solution. But in reality, deploying an AI in an enterprise environment requires a significant architecture support. AI model doesn't operate in isolation. They depends on the reliable data pipeline, secure infrastructure, and continuous monitoring. It is not like a black box, like it's not going to solve everything. It all depends on how much and what kind of a data you are providing to the modules. Many organizations underestimate the complexity of the integrating the AI into the production system. They focus on the model itself but overlook the surrounding ecosystem, such as the data quality, observability, and the governance. Those three are the most important part when we are talking about the AI. As a result, the AI may work well in a controlled environment, but when deployed in the production, it faces real world challenges that weren't considered during the deployment. So that's the biggest difference between the reality and the hype AI.
So basically, it's about the data that you feed the AI. Your explanation shows that AI is not just a tool, but a partner in decision making. It does not prevent the attacks, it only redistributes it, if I understand you correctly. Predictive models allow organizations to be proactive rather than reactive, which is a huge shift in mindset for security teams across the world. Can you explain adaptive defense and how these systems actually learn to protect themselves?
So in earlier implementation, we learned too heavily into automation. We assume that if the model detects the threat with a high confidence, it should automatically contain or remediate the issue. In practice, that caused the potential operational disturbance. False positive triggers, containment actions that affected the legitimate user. The lesson was that the automation without the explainability creates the disturbance. Security teams needs to understand why something happened before they are comfortably delegate the authority to a machine. Now I design tiered response architecture. Low risk anomalies can be handled automatically. Medium risk calls are escalated with the AI generated explainability for the human review. High risk decisions always remain human led. Responsible automation means the understanding what autonomy adds value and where it creates the risk. That's what earlier times of building the adaptive systems.
Okay, thank you so much. I think if I understand you correctly, these AI models mirror human activities. It's fascinating how these adaptive systems mirror learning in humans, responding to threats dynamically. That approach clearly influences how companies should structure security teams and security around Web3 and blockchain technologies where static rules often fail. So please tell me how you see the balance between automation and human oversight in security operation. How can they work hand in hand, and how can they be balanced across the world?
Who is accountable when AI makes the wrong decision? Ultimately, human remains the accountable. And basically, that's why the governance framework matters. Every AI-driven decision must be traceable back to the human oversight, documented threshold, and predefined escalation logic. Is AI actually making a cybersecurity better, or just more complex? That's the fair challenge. In some cases, AI has genuinely improved the detection speed and pattern recognition. across the massive data set that humans simply cannot process manually. However, it has also introduced a new layer of complexity. When we embed the AI into the security system, we are no longer just protecting the infrastructure, we are protecting the model itself, the data pipeline, and the feedback loop. That creates the additional failure modes. So the honest answer is AI can make cybersecurity better, but only if the architecture and the architecture around it is disciplined. Otherwise, it simply shifts the complexity and sometimes hide it behind the problematic. So, if the system blocks the legitimate transaction or isolate the critical infrastructure incorrectly, the responsibility lies with the designers and the operators who deploy it.
All right, thank you so much for the thoughtful explanations. If I understand you correctly, I'll need you to confirm. You're saying that balancing AI automation with human judgment is very important for trust and accountability. Am I correct?
Yes. And there are some blind spots when we try to implement the AI into the cybersecurity. What can I say? Like the biggest blind spot is overconfidence. Organization more often assume that because a model performs well in testing, it will behave predictably, same way in a production. But in real world, environments introduce the data drift and change in behavior and unexpected integrations. Security failure often occurs not because the model was weak, but because the surrounding architecture failed to anticipate the change. So we have to be very sure what kind of a data we are using during the testing. Obviously, we can't be 100% sure about what the model or the system behave after we implement that and deploy that AI into the production environment. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. So, since balancing AI automation with human judgment is crucial for trust and accountability, when we're speaking of that trust, it naturally brings us to the concept of explainable and responsible AI, which ensures organizations can adopt these systems confidently. How does responsible or ethical AI look like in digital defense?
Okay, so I should first explain what exactly the responsible AI deployment starts with a strong architecture and the governance. This introduces the secure data pipeline, proper access control, and clear policies around how data is used and protected. It also involves the continuous monitoring of AI systems to detect the performance issues, anomalies, and unexpected behavior. Observability is also critical because AI system can change over time as the data changes. In addition, organizations should ensure the transparency so users understand how decisions are made. Responsible AI is not just about building the model, it's also about managing the entire lifecycle of the system safely and responsibly. When we also, many people ask me about what is the main difference between the responsible AI and irresponsible AI. The main difference between the responsible AI and irresponsible AI is the trust and the control. Responsible AI is designed with the privacy, security, transparency, and monitoring from the beginning, so the organization understands how it works and can trust its decision. On the other hand, irresponsible AI is deployed without a proper safeguards. It may expose the sensitive data, produce the biased and incorrect results, or behave unpredictably because it lacks governance and monitoring. Responsible AI focus on a long-term reliability and safety, while the unresponsible AI focus only on the short-term functionality or the speed. Most organizations fail when it comes to the responsible AI. Why? And exactly where? The most common failure is treating the AI as just a model instead of a complete system. Organizations often invest heavily in the training, the model, but neglecting the monitoring and the governance and the security. Another issue is the lack of clear ownership and the accountability. Without defining the responsibility or risk can go unnoticed. Responsible AI requires ongoing oversights, continuous monitoring, clear operational processes. It's not something that can be implemented once and forgotten. Responsible AI, as I mentioned earlier, responsible AI is focused on long-term reliability and the safety. It can, and this way, it can build a trust in the system.
I really appreciate your focus on long-term reliability, safety, accountability, and also transparency. Without it, AI just becomes a black box that leaders and founders can't trust, which could be catastrophic, by the way, especially in these decentralized systems. So tell me, please, how can developers and architects design AI systems that are both powerful and explainable?
So responsible innovations means designing a system under that assumptions that, how can I say? So we can, as a developer or as any architecture, you try to build a system which protects your system from any outside attack. But responsible innovations mean designing a system under the assumptions that failure will occur. And it means building an audit trail before incident happen, not after. It means measuring the harm and systematic impact, not just performance metrics. Responsible AI system is able to trace once the failure happened, what exactly happened, and that's why we have to maintain the audit trails. It also means aligning the AI incentives with the human interaction incentives. If your AI system or optimized purely on speed or accuracy without considering this, operational risk, it will eventually cause a damage. Responsible innovations is not about slowing down the process; it's about ensuring the process does not create the irreversible harm at the scale.
You have made clear emphasis on performance and explainability, and this dual focus seems very, very essential, not just for large enterprises, but for startups and Web3 builders trying to secure their platforms without massive resources. Can you share with us a real-world example where AI or automation prevented a major security incident?
So I can tell you one example where actually how it was early attempts at building adaptive systems in my existing environment, existing organization. In earlier implementation, how we did it. In earlier implementation, we leaned too heavily into the automation. We assume that if the model detects a threat with a high confidence, it should automatically contain or remediate the issue. In practice, that caused operational disturbance. False positive triggered the containment actions that affected the legitimate users. The lesson was that automation without explainability creates the disturb. Security teams needs to understand why something happened before they are comfortable detecting the authority to a machine. Now I design response architecture. Low risk anomalies can be handled automatically. Medium risk cases are escalated with the AI generated explainability for human review. High risk decisions always remains human led. Responsible automation means understanding where the autonomy adds value and where it creates the risk.
Amazing. Hearing this real world results highlights the tangible value of AI driven security. It's one thing to theorize, and another thing is to see measurable prevention in action. Now let's look at how smaller organizations can start applying these lessons, especially with little budgets. How can small or mid-sized organizations implement AI-driven security without huge budgets?
Okay, so how I started it. So in my existing organization, I already explained you what exactly we did it. But the first thing what we did, we started with a small thing. The most organization try to achieve too much too early, and that's the reason they failed in most cases. So how we can start is like just try to target small things. Like in my organizations, We started with a very small project. We have so many alerts going on our existing system. Alerts like all the warnings every time server goes down, or anything happened to the server, or anywhere one particular page is not responding. Then we try to create the alerts, and the thing is, we are getting the alerts, almost 100 alerts every day, and we realized this is not going to work like that. We can't address 100 alerts every day. So we try to implement, try to reduce the noise using the AI. We try to set a standard and try to distribute those alerts into 3 categories: high alerts, medium alerts, and the low alerts. Obviously, the low alerts are something which can be seen later. It's not emergency thing. We are mostly focused on the high alerts things, and obviously, as soon as we have some particular criterias, and as soon as we've hit those criterias, we got those alerts depending on that criterias. So we, as mentioned, we try to categorize our alert system. Only the high alerts will be something which we are looking into in prioritizing them, and try to take the action on that. That was my first project, how we implemented this. So basically, summarize everything. You can start with a small thing. Don't try to capture big things when you are implementing the AI first time in your organization. Try to achieve small things, so the organization, the management will trust you, or build a trust on you using the AI, implementing the AI with your existing environment, and that's how you can start it.
It is encouraging to see that even limited resources can yield meaningful protection when AI is applied thoughtfully. This approach is particularly relevant for Web3 startups that often launch quickly but still need a robust security system. So tell us, please, Bhaskar, what trends or emerging technologies are you most excited about in the next wave of AI and cybersecurity?
Yeah, right now I'm writing a paper. Actually, it's already published. If anybody wants to go and check, it's already available on IEEE Explore, about the federated learning. So my paper is already available. So back to your question, I'm most excited about the federated learning right now. That's my current topic of research. Federated learning is a technique where the AI models are trained across the multiple locations without moving the data to the central location. Instead, the model learn from the data locally, and only learn patterns are shared. This helps to protect privacy and ensure the sensitivity of a data. When you're, it's especially when it's important for the industries like the healthcare and the finances, where the data privacy is critical. That's right now is my main focus.
Amazing. Your perspective shows that cybersecurity innovation is accelerating in parallel with the decentralized and digital-first ecosystem. Understanding these trends is essential for anyone building on blockchain or other Web3 infrastructure. So finally, Bhaskar, what practical advice do you have for professionals looking to future-proof their careers at the intersection of AI and cybersecurity?
The future of cybersecurity will be not be defined by the stronger walls. It will be defined by the intelligence system that can detect the deviation, explain the reasoning, and escalate the responsibility, and also remains accountable to the human oversight. AI is an incredible powerful force multiplier, but without the architectural discipline, governance, and transparency, it is a risk. The organizations that succeed will not only not be the ones that adopt AI faster. They will be the one that integrate it truly, thoughtfully, and govern it effectively.
Amazing. The future of cybersecurity is not dependent on the most powerful walls, That is really, really amazing. This has been an incredibly grounded session, Bhaskar. I really appreciate your thoughtfulness. I really appreciate your insight and the real lessons that you have brought to this topic today. Before we round up this episode, what advice or what last words, what's final notes do you have for our listeners?
My advice would be to focus on building a strong architecture and governance before deploying the AI. AI is obviously very powerful, but it must be deployed responsibly with the proper security, monitoring, and the controls. Organizations that focus on trust, reliability, and long-term sustainability will see the most success with AI.
All right, thank you so much, Bhaskar. So that wraps up today's episode of Web3 Unfiltered. A big thank you to Bhaskar Bharat Sawant for sharing his journey, insight into AI-driven adaptive defenses, explainable and responsible AI, and practical strategies for securing both traditional and decentralized digital systems. We've explored how predictive security changes the game for big enterprises, startups, and Web3 builders alike, demonstrating that thoughtful automation, transparency, and adaptive systems aren't just technical tools. They are essential foundations for trust and resilience in the digital economy. If you found this episode valuable, share it with your network and subscribe to Web3 Unfiltered so you never miss an insight. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and keep building.